YouTube, welcome back to Game 3 of the Changeling, the Changeling Challenge Tournament. This was hosted by Halo a little while back, and the uniqueness of this tournament was the fact that there was a random faction wheel. And remember, in the finals, this is a best of 5, and this is between Odium Xiphos and XMT Felkon. I believe he goes by XMT. I could be wrong. We'll look at afterwards. Anyway, Felkon and Xiphos are both great players. They are 1-1 right now. This is Game 3. If you haven't seen the other two battles, you need to go watch them. And so someone is going to take the lead here. We will see who it is. This is going to be Felkon's Beastmen against the Greenskins of Xiphos. And Xiphos has brought an army that I really like here. If the Beastmen are really good at like very fast hit and run kind of tactics with Centaurs with great weapons and poison warhounds, but none of that has been brought by Felkon. Felkon has a front line of Ungor Spearherd, one of which is the destroyers of Drakwold here. And there's going to be 3 Minotaur units here too, which is crazy cool, but very different here. The Butchers of Kalkengard, so this is going to give a huge amount of armor-piercing, just painfully hard-hitting units here. I mean, look at the Butchers of Kalkengard, and then he's also got a Gorbel. So there's some pretty serious danger here in this army. And then he's got Kazrak on a chariot, as well as a Bray Shaman, Lore of Shadows. And as for the abilities on that Bray Shaman, he's going to have the Enfeebling Foe and Penumbral Pendulum. So good picks here. And you can see here that the Beastmen army does have 2 Bestigor herds. Now, the pick that I like right now from the Greenskins, this is not a Beastmen army where you're going to see this huge bunch of fast-moving cavalry, light cavalry. And that's going to be interesting because the Greenskins are also really good with specialist light cavalry, and theirs happens to be a missile-ish specialty. And one of the things that makes those light cavalry dangerous is the fact that some of them carry poison arrows, like these Death Creepers. So even those fast light cavalry, the Beastmen, can sometimes struggle to catch these units when they get poisoned. And Morgrub's Mangy Marauders packs an armor-piercing punch that is rather unpleasant. Now, up front for the Greenskins, there are 4 units of goblins. Nice fodder. They're actually led by the Goblin, the Loony of 8 Peaks, the Warlord, Skarsnik, and he's got Gobla right there next to him. Now, Skarsnik is an interesting pick. He's got charge defense against large, and he's got an anti-large bonus and poison, which is going to make him decently survivable if he's getting hammered on by a big giant monster. He's not going to be super tough, because he's only got 50 armor, but he does have solid melee defense. He fights back with a halberd, basically. So we've got the Broken Tusk Mob and a Savage Boar Biggin, and then there are 3 Savage Orc Biggins. This is going to give a lot of anti-large capability, and you know what? These guys are pretty good against standard infantry that are low armor as well. And then 2 Black Orcs for some hard-hitting anti-armor, anti-elite infantry, I should say. And then we're going to have a Gabo Shaman here with Itchy Nuisance. And, oh crap, why am I forgetting that other spell? Itchy Nuisance and Sneaky Stabbin'. So, we got some good stuff here from the Greenskins. Let's see how this plays out. These Goblin Light Cavalry are going to be a bit of a nightmare here for the Beastmen. They just don't have an answer to this. There's no archers, there's no Light Cavalry. They just get to sit here and eat this. And the Goblin Light Cavalry starts to immediately target a Bestigor herd, which is going to be a fantastic target. This is going to cause very painful damage to the Beastmen. These Beastmen need these Bestigor herd to have a chance because the infantry right now, the Greenskins, is superior. The large monster piece obviously goes to the Beastmen, but there is the anti-large of the Broken Tusk Mob, and then there's some the Savage Boar Biggins. Is that a bonus versus infantry? No. They have an anti-large bonus as well. So there is anti-large, Skarsnik, and the 2 units of cavalry. But I mean, these Minotaurs are going to pack a heck of a wallop. So it's no joke. These ones all have shields. It's a silver shield. So, but I mean, look at the damage already being done on these Bestigor herd. It's going to be painful. It's going to be very painful. The Death Creepers also slow these guys down to where they get shot more on their way to battle. So we're going to see an initial attack here with the 2 Chariot units who get immediately swamped by the Savage Boar Biggins and Savage Biggins. So this is a rough position to be in for the 2 Beastmen leaders, and you can see that they're trying to get out, but the Shadow Bray Shaman here gets caught, and Kazrak doesn't get very far away either before he gets slowed down. Skarsnik and Gobbler are going to come in here to try and gobble up that Shaman. See the Minotaurs coming in. So the front line of the Greenskins is just going to absorb all this hard hitting. And you can see the back up here. Now look at this. Broken Tusk Mob and Black Orcs. Going to slam into all these Minotaurs. And then there are Savage Biggins. This is going to turn into a very crazy fight very quickly. The Brave Shaman does get off a quick pendulum. He is dying very quickly. He's already routed. And the Greenskins get a very nice start here. Wah has been popped, and so the Greenskins are getting massive damage. Look at the damage to this Bestigor herd from the light archers there. Just tremendous damage done, and I love how the focus, the just keen focus here from Xiphos to go after the high value units and not just waste that ammo on the spear units that are being used to screen here by Felkon, and that's a smart move. But I like how he's just really being careful here and focusing out those high-value units. Some of the Greenskin units are going to regroup pretty quickly, like the Tusk Mob. And the Beastmen are hitting so hard in this fight right here that they do manage to break some of the Greenskin units. I mean, 3 units of Minotaurs and a Gore Bull is going to be painful. Just absolutely painful. And they quickly punch through to try and get some of these Wolf Riders, but instead they're going to get fed a steady diet of Broken Tusk Mob and Savage Biggins. And then over here, Skarsnik is relentless, able to start fighting Kazrak, and with the Black Orcs, they punch their way through the Bestigor herd. Black Orcs, definitely a superior unit to Bestigor herd. They cost a little more, but they are a good unit. And right now, the Greenskins are in good shape. Their light cavalry has not been squandered, and it's been focused on great targets. Now, after helping destroy the Bestigor herd, now he will focus on the Minotaurs. Now, the Minotaurs have shields. It's very likely that Felkon knew that he would be up against archers or, you know, cavalry archers, and so I think he purposefully picked these ones with shields. They still do good damage to infantry while resisting the missiles a little more, but he's still going to pay a hefty price for not being able to answer these units. And you can see Felkon occasionally sallying out to try and see if he can catch these units. They're likely being microed by Xiphos, and they are, you can tell, because that wasn't an auto skirmish. So as long as Xiphos stays on top of his movement orders, in my opinion, the battle looks very good for the Greenskins right now. I don't see how these Minotaurs with a lack of infantry support could cut their way through Savage Biggins, 2 Black Orcs, Skarsnik, and they got a Night Gobbo Shaman. I mean, all the leadership for the Greenskins is intact. You're not going to cause a big terror out on this, and so at this point, Felkon is desperately trying to catch these archers because that is his only chance of trying to win this battle. And even if he did catch them at this point, I feel like that he would still have an uphill battle. Greenskins and Beastmen is an interesting matchup to me. They're both very hard-hitting factions that have some squishiness to them. For Greenskins, it's leadership, and Beastmen don't have spectacular leadership, but it's really most Beastmen infantry is pretty squishy. They hit hard, but they don't last. And it's kind of similar in some ways with the Greenskins. They hit very hard, but if you can take care of their leadership, they won't last. And a Brave Shaman lore of Shadows is an interesting pick. I usually end up picking a Death Shaman against the Greenskins. I don't know if that's really better. The reason I do it is because I like to really toy with their poor leadership by using like Doom and Darkness or something like that. But it can still be difficult to break certain Greenskin units. And Lore of Shadows is definitely a solid pick. I mean, you're going to end up Enfeebling Foe is a great spell. And then Penumbral Pendulum is good too if you can cause a blob. And, you know, a lot of Greenskin infantry is unarmored, and so Penumbral Pendulum is a solid pick. Itchy Nuisance and Sneaky Stabbin', always a good pick. It goes along great with the Wah ability that comes along with all the Greenskin leaders. You can see here that this fight is wrapping up very nicely for Xiphos. Felkon is not going to be able to overcome this. He put up a solid fight. He caused a lot of damage to the Greenskin army. He just does not have an answer to some of the units that are on the battlefield here for the Greenskins, and he won't be able to answer it. Some of the light cavalry still have a decent bit of ammo as well. Some have run out, but this one right here, this Goblin Wolf Rider, still has a decent bit of ammo. A lot of Savage Biggins left. Black Orcs are going to be no joke this late in the game, and supported by Skarsnik, who's anti-large and poison. Yeah. As much as I love me some good Minotaur action because of Gore Bull, and And there is the Gorbel back here, I believe. No, that might just be a Minotaur. Where is old Gorbel? There's Gorbel. The Butcher's a Kalkengard. Look like a nice bunch of dairy cows that have been turned into insane cattle zombies. Become bipedal. You can see here again, just desperately going after these archers. But it's not going to happen. If by some lucky chance he could catch some of those, get them off the battlefield, lower the number of greenskins, maybe have Gorbel help hold up a bunch of the greenskin units while you slam in with Minotaurs, that would be your best chance at this point. But I mean, Kazarak has been significantly weakened, and now he's caught. All these Wolf Riders and other stuff are going to pin him in. He won't be able to use his mass to get out of there. The Butchers of Kalkengard come to try and undo this. Itchy nuisance. And you're going to see some big trouble here for the Beastmen. Kazarak, the one eye, is now going to be Kazarak, no eyes, and no teeth. Don't forget the teeth, boys. I saw some comment, I think it was it Aster Demos? He left a comment saying that the Changelings tournament is like you can easily predict who's going to win by the faction picks. I'd say there's certain ones that you probably could, because, I mean, you think about Felkon and Xiphos, these are two high-skill players, and I think that there is a decent chance for certain faction picks that it's going to be an auto-win. And I don't know a ton about the game. Maybe that's the case with Beastmen and Greenskins, but I don't see it. I feel like this is one that could swing either way, depending on how those armies are used. I mean, the Beastmen don't have a ton of different directions they can come from, but they have a few. And the Greenskins have a fair number of lords as well, and some different ways that they can be played. I think these are two interesting matchups here. Now, I think that comment came from Master Demos and a couple of others on the Empire versus Dark Elves. Dark Elves is a tough matchup for anybody. And I think I told you all when I was commenting that one, I'm glad I didn't have to take the Empire against the Dark Elves. First of all, I'm not the best Empire player. The Empire is like a specialist faction. They have all these specialty units, and you have to use them well, which generally requires someone who's got some solid micro and who can kind of get things going the right way, because you can't really bring a heavy infantry build with the Empire, and your infantry line is going to crumble. So at some point, your infantry line falls apart. So, I mean, going against the Dark Elves, it's rough. It's rough because you got to prepare for a lot of things. They could bring Hydras, which are pretty difficult to deal with in certain situations. Now, of course, the Empire could have skirmishers, but if you bring skirmishers, Dark Elves have access to Dark Riders. They have access to Harpies, Cold One Knights. They have Flying Lords. They have Dragons. You could end up against all kinds of stuff that might make it difficult to defend those skirmishers. And really, one of your only advantages as the Empire is having cheap, long-range artillery. You can put that to work, and then you have fairly cheap cavalry as the Empire. However, the Dark Elves have a great answer with the, those fairly low-priced Cold One Knights as well. But anyway, back to this Beastman Greenskin matchup. I like this one. I don't feel like this one is near as lopsided. And we got to see some great play from Xiphos here. Felkon's army is an interesting pick, not what I would have expected. If I was coming up against the Beastmen, I would have been all kinds of prepared as the Greenskins as best I could to deal with all of those Centaurs and Warhounds. Because that would be my worry, is that the Beastmen would try and come in, drop my leadership, hit me hard from behind with a bunch of fast-moving light cavalry, and that's what I would have been scared of. In this case, he picked the heavy-hitting Minotaurs and a couple of elite infantry, so this is the damage-dealing component of his army. He also brought the chariots, because chariots are quite good against infantry or archers, and he may have been hoping to knock out any anti-large units and then just run like crazy all over the infantry with the chariots and other units. It just didn't work out here. So great game to Felkon and Xiphos both. Congrats to Xiphos. He is going to win Game 3. I will see you all in Game 4. I hope you're enjoying this series. I absolutely love it.